Welcome to my channel. Coin Worth Million. Today video is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins. Top Australia, 20 cent, 1981, 1978. So let's get it started. The 1981 Australian 20 cent coin is a compelling example of how subtle minting, variations and historical minting partnerships can create lasting interest among numismatists and collectors around the world. Struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, this coin bears her image on the obverse side, a portrait sculpted by Arnold Machine, who portrayed the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This design had been standard on Australian coinage since 1966 and continued until 1984, marking the first definitive portrait of the Queen on decimal currency. The reverse of the coin features the iconic platypus, an original design by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen, who played a major role in shaping the identity of Australia's decimal coin designs. In 1981, the Royal Australian Mint experienced production pressures and turned to external mints for assistance, which led to the unique situation of three different mints producing the same denomination: the Royal Australian Mint, the Royal Mint in London, and the Royal Canadian Mint. While most 1981 20-cent coins appear outwardly similar, collectors discovered that the version produced by the Royal Canadian Mint had a distinctive feature, what has come to be known as the long claw, or sometimes informally referred to as the key long variety. This refers to the lengthened middle claw on the right forelimb of the platypus on the reverse side, which is slightly longer and more defined than in standard versions. This detail, while small, is a key diagnostic for identifying the Canadian minted coin, and adds an intriguing layer to collecting this date. The difference arose due to variation in die engraving or striking pressures between the Canadian and Australian facilities. Over 50 million coins were minted in Canada alone, making them not rare in terms of volume, but still prized among variety collectors. Numismatists often enjoy the challenge of identifying which mint a coin came from based solely on die characteristics and minute details, making this coin a perfect subject for study and comparison. The technical specifications of the coin remain consistent across all versions: a mass of 11.31 grams, a diameter of 28.52 millimeter, a thickness of approximately 2.0 millimeters, and a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Although it is still legal tender, in Australia, many examples, especially those in high-grade or uncirculated condition, have been removed from circulation by collectors. The coin, like all circulating Australian decimal coins of the time, features reeded edges and was struck using high-speed coining presses. Over the years, the long claw variety gained attention, especially through the rise of online collecting, forums and YouTube videos highlighting subtle coin differences. The value of the long claw coin in circulated condition is typically only slightly higher than face value, but uncirculated or mint state examples can attract greater premiums, particularly if graded by professional services. The coin's popularity also underscores broader themes in coin collecting, namely, how small variations, changes in production location, and the stories behind minting decisions can deeply enrich a collector's experience. This specific coin is a snapshot of an era when Australia's growing coinage demands intersected with global production capacity. It also demonstrates the richness of Australia's numismatic tradition, blending native wildlife, colonial heritage, royal symbolism, and industrial collaboration into a single 20-cent piece. Over 4 decades later, the 1981 long claw coin remains a popular educational tool in numismatics, often used to teach newcomers about die varieties, mint marks. Though this coin has none and minting anomalies, it exemplifies how not all valuable coins are gold or silver. Sometimes everyday pocket change holds fascinating tales. For collectors who focus on decimal varieties, it is often one of the first major coins added to a collection. As more people become aware of its features, demand for better quality examples is likely to grow, preserving this modest yet meaningful coin's legacy well into the future. The 1978 Australian 20-cent coin, bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, stands as a testament to the strength and consistency of Australia's decimal coinage system, introduced in 1966. On the obverse, this coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Masson, a British artist whose rendering of the monarch shows her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a symbol of her youth and royal dignity. This portrait was used across many Commonwealth countries during the mid-20th century and marked a time of economic and technological transition. The reverse design of the coin, by Stuart Devlin, is both instantly recognizable and deeply symbolic of Australia's unique wildlife heritage. It features a platypus swimming through water, surrounded by fluid lines that represent motion and vitality. This design has become iconic and remains unchanged on 20-cent coins to this day, cementing Devlin's place in Australian numismatic history. Minted exclusively at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, the 1978 20-cent coin was not struck at any foreign mints, and thus, unlike some later years, it does not feature any die variety, such as the 1981 Canadian long claw. However, despite the absence of dramatic mint varieties, the 1978 coin holds collector value for its relative scarcity in high uncirculated or proof-like condition, as it was a high circulation year and many coins were worn down quickly in daily use. With a mintage of approximately 49.4 million, the coin was produced to meet growing domestic demand during a period of economic inflation and demographic expansion in Australia. Like other 20-cent coins of the era, it weighs 11.31 grams, has a diameter of 28.52 millimeter, and is made of cupro-nickel, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance with high durability. Its reeded edge and lack of mint mark are standard for circulation issues of the time. While there are no widely recognized die varieties or mint errors that define the 1978 issue, collectors have reported occasional planchet flaws, die cracks, and minor misstrikes, which can fetch a premium when verified and graded by professional numismatic services. The coin's value in circulated condition remains close to face value, but uncirculated examples, graded MS65 or higher, can command prices ranging from $5 to $20 AUD, depending on eye appeal, luster, and preservation. One often overlooked aspect of this coin is its representation of Australia's stable and self-reliant minting capabilities during the late 1970s. Unlike years such as 1981 or 1984, where production assistance was sought from other Commonwealth mints like those in Canada or London, 1978 coins were produced solely on Australian soil. This has led some collectors to regard the 1978 issue as a purist's coin, untainted by external minting variation, consistent in design, and reflective of a straightforward production cycle. The coin also holds historical significance as it was minted during the early years of the Fraser government, a time marked by economic reform, rising fuel prices, and changes in Australian industry. As such, the coin may not just be seen as a numismatic item, but also as a small relic of Australian life in the late 1970s. It passed through the hands of Australians during a time of cultural change, shifting social values, and technological progress. For students of history and coin collecting alike, the 1978 20-cent piece provides a tactile link to a bygone era. While not rare in the traditional sense, its enduring design, clean lines, and durable metallurgy have made it a long-lasting ECE presence in circulation and a familiar sight in change for decades. In today's collecting world, it holds a modest but steady position in the collections of those pursuing complete date sets, quality strikes, or examples that illustrate Australia's post-decimalization coinage evolution. Furthermore, because it has not been reissued or redesigned, it serves as a classic example of Devlin's artistic influence and the Australian Mint's commitment to stability and national symbolism in currency design. Overall, the 1978 20-cent coin is a coin that may seem ordinary at a glance, but reveals much about Australia's culture, economy, and minting history when given deeper consideration. Like and subscribe this video.